put on IR. Apke had a hamstring. He did not participate. Mo Harris had a concussion related. He was limited. And Morgan Moses had a slight knee. He was limited.
Did you make a corresponding move for Quinn's spot, number 47?
Yes, we signed Ladler off our practice squad.
Right.
We got Quick.
Okay.
Yeah, we activated J.U. from our practice squad.
Okay, yeah, Maurice Harris. So this is a step forward for him, I guess, but is he still in the concussion protocol? Does he still need to clear before he can do more?
He's been allowed to do individual drills and progress from there. So as far as still being in it, he's technically not out of it till he's officially cleared, but they have progressed him into normal work duty.
For Quinn and really, I guess, Sims too, is there a chance that either of those guys could return later this season? And is there any
Yes,
difference?
we get 2 spots, and right now we have 3 possibilities really with Marshall, Quinn, and Sims.
Any idea on the timeline of when those guys will be healed?
Probably around 6-7 weeks, 8 weeks, hopefully.
Jay, I know we've talked about this from time to time over the years, but as Ryan Kerrigan's consecutive game streak grows, what have you noticed about him? Has he had to, as he's gotten a little older and a little more miles on the wheels, change things, take more attention, more care to certain things to make sure he's ready every week?
No, he has always taken care of himself. He's one of the best pros we have in here, as far as work ethic, taking care of his body. Obviously, if you look at him, you can see that. So he works extremely hard at practice. We do take a little bit off of him from time to time. That's just because we ask him to. We never tell him, he never volunteers that. But, yeah, he's just a great worker. I think he's one of those guys that can play for a long time because he takes care of his body, works extremely hard.
Hey, given his position, how amazing is that stat?
It's amazing. It really is. It's obviously a tough football game, and there's some luck involved in that, but a lot of it has to do with his tenacity, his work ethic, and, just off-season, in-season, breakfast, lunch, dinner, what he eats, how he sleeps, all that. Man, he's just the ultimate pro as far as how he takes care of his body.
Jay, I'm sorry if I missed it. What exactly were the 2 surgeries?
They were high ankle.
Just high ankle surgery?
Yeah.
High ankle?
Yeah, there's some new procedure they're doing. I don't exactly know what it is called, but they went in there and did something.
When it comes to Ryan Anderson playing fullback, is that something you have him coach him up on a little bit, or is that something you're just like, hey, Ryan, just be ready on goal line to go in and knock somebody on their butt? And then also, how's he taken that role? Is he just embracing that and ready to do it whenever?
I'd like to think there was coaching involved in this league. I don't know. But, yeah. We coach him up. We try to coach him up. We try to get him a couple reps on Friday, Saturday, just to get him look at the defense. And we don't give him a huge package of plays, just 3 or 4 plays in there, and and it's really hard to simulate that, without pads on a Friday or Saturday. But Ryan has volunteered himself to do that. Deron Payne has done it before in the past at Alabama. So we have a couple options there in-house without having to activate a true fullback. So Ryan's got the body for it. He's got the toughness for it and the power. So he's a good fit for it.
What's it like to be able to call a guy like Brian Quick back 2 weeks after cutting him and know that he can kind of step in seamlessly for you? What's that conversation like?
Do you want to come back? Yes. Yeah. He's a great kid. We hated to let go of him in the first place because he's such a hard worker and had a good training camp. The injury set him back. The thigh injury set him back. And when he did get healthy, Cam Sims emerged in his absence. Then he got hurt a little bit, and Trey Quinn had an emergence. Obviously, Mo Harris was in a position he was in, so we had to, numbers-wise, we had to let somebody go. But fortunately, he's still on the streets and able to fill a void for us.
Right now, does he even track to be active this weekend?
Yeah, we only have, our two of our 5 active guys are on IR now, so we have to activate a couple more, JU's got a chance. If Mo can't go, JU, especially for special teams, that's what his strength is. And then obviously Quick could be the 4th.
What is it about your starting offensive line that allows it to be so consistent in the run game and the pass game? And what can that group do if those guys, all 5 guys, stay healthy?
Now, their versatility is the key. They can run, they can pull. They're strong at the point of attack, and they're pretty athletic. So, you can have a lot of versatility there. And Sprinkle getting better at the tight end spot has helped a lot. I think Vernon Davis has gotten better in there. Even Jordan Reed's gotten better in there, and the receivers blocking helped a lot too. So, and then obviously I think Alex Smith with his versatility, able to move around and do some different things with the football, helps out. And then the back's vision, and running after the contact.
What is it about Dunbar's game that posed such problems for Arizona?
Well, he was able to make plays both in man coverage and his zone coverages. I think it was one of his better games, and he tackled pretty well. So I think it was one of his better games as a pro here, and I think he's got to continue to make strides to get better and keep studying the game and the people that he's covering. But he's obviously had a big game Sunday.
Right. Is that like his size, his intellect? Like, what kind of went into him making those plays?
Well, he's a good athlete. Being an ex-receiver's helped out a little bit too because he can see routes and break on things. But really, it's his length and his size, and he's got great speed, and recovery speed if he does get beat at the line.
Jay, the idea of a trap game is something no coach ever wants to think about, talk about. You hope your players are certainly not in that mindset, but obviously over the course of an NFL season, that's going to happen for every team probably at some point. From your experience, what goes into there's a lot of human elements in that. What goes into when a team does fall into that trap, and what do you see that works to avoid such things?
Well, I don't think we're in that position right now to be thinking of trap games at all. We're not good enough to be thinking about that anyway. We're trying to find our way as a football team, an identity on offense and defense, a consistency to our football team. We had a great start last week, but we're all about ball right now and trying to get better today and get ready for a very good, very talented, well-coached Indianapolis football team.
Just a quick follow-up on the receivers. Is Cheston a guy who can play in the slot since Quick is solely outside if Mo still doesn't get cleared?
Probably not. We'll probably keep him outside. I think if something were to happen to Jameson, we'd probably put Jordan there full-time if need be. Jordan's a great slot receiver. He can do everything.
Unrelated to that, but actually related to Jordan. Is that the best blocking game he has had for you?
I don't know, but he's gotten better. I'm very impressed with Jordan the way he blocked. All those tight ends really did a good job. Sprinkle and Vernon, like I mentioned before, and that's, one of the problems we had a little bit last year. Our tight end blocking wasn't as good as it should be. Our lines fluctuating in and out was a problem. So, they did well.
Coach, Hurricane Florence is swirling around out there. Who knows if she's going to drop any rain this way. Are you making any sort of preparations in your practice for what kind of field you may or may not have Sunday?
I think game plan related, we can adjust our game plan to that. We have a lot of different types of style of runs and passes that we can adjust if need be, personnel groupings. But as far as practicing on a possible wet field, we have no way of doing that. We just have to adjust game time if something happens.
I was going to ask about Sprinkle, so I'll continue on. If you can kind of expand on where do you feel he is, or where he's gotten better as a blocker even from last year. I know that's part of the reason why you guys drafted him, but has he gotten better from last year? If so, where?
Yeah, without a doubt, his blocking. And Sprinkle is deceivingly fast. He can get down in the seams, and he's a good receiver also. But really, we're asking him to, one, focus on being a good blocker at the point of attack, and that's why we took him out of Arkansas. But he's gotten stronger in the weight room with Chad, and Wes has done a great job with his footwork and fundamentals, and he's long and strong.
Because he can do that, how does that free you up with Jordan and then Vernon too? What options do they give you?
Lots of options. It's good options to have. It's the personnel packages vary. Sometimes we're sprinkling Jordan, sometimes we're sprinkling Vernon, sometimes we're Vernon and Jordan. And then a single receiver set, sometimes it's one of the three. So we can mix them up, keep them fresh, and utilize our best personnel accordingly.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.